Does this, Steve talked about this being an 8-game road trip. Does this kind of just feel like an extension of the road trip?
Yeah, it was one very good mattress for a night, so it's good. It's weird because it's a lot of miles covered and whatnot, but we can't really plan to that if we're gonna try to get wins. It's gotta be business as usual as best we can tonight, especially against a good Boston team, so we gotta be ready.
What have you thought about Isaiah Thomas?
It's been amazing. It's obviously been really, really clutch. He won a lot of games for his team just off of his sheer will and playmaking. But he's taking his game to probably the next level after that. And it's been fun to watch.
What was off of your shot and then what got back on the second half?
Nothing specific, man. I don't know. From game to game, everything felt great. Shots didn't fall. And I don't know if it was a timing thing, or if it was not enough legs, or whatever you want to call it. You hope that eventually things will kind of even out. And, I still feel like I can shoot better. I know I can, so keep that confidence and keep shooting.
Steph, so much was made adjusting to having Kevin around, and now you guys are having to do the opposite. It is an adjustment now again, a few games in without him, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, obviously we know what he brings to the table every night, and he's only missed one game up until his injury, so different rotations, a couple different play calls that we don't run now because they're catered to kind of just getting him to a scoring spot. But for the most part, our identity is what it is, and it's always been that way. Kind of it was a tough stretch when shots weren't falling for whatever reason. It looks a lot worse than it actually is. We're very, very kind of happy with how we kind of turned it on, especially defensively, put in some really good efforts, and we're going to keep that going.
At what point did you realize that rotation this season?
Honestly, in training camp, his IQ for the game is very, very high. He understands exactly just how to impact the game when he's out there. The biggest thing for him is just to continue to preach aggressiveness no matter what lineup he's with. As you saw, like in preseason in Denver game, he took over and showed the full repertoire of what he can bring. And you don't want him to lose that, whether he's playing with the starters or whether he's playing with the second unit. When he's out there, the confidence he has to take shots, to put the ball on the floor, make plays, it's got to be there, and it has.
I think it's kind of cool having a connection to the roster with Barnes here.
It is kind of cool. When I first got here as a rookie, that was the talk with everybody when it came to the Warriors was, can y'all duplicate what they did? And so just have obviously a guy that lived that out and got the Warriors kind of on the map early on. It's pretty special to have him back. And I know for him, great memories obviously, and hopefully he can add to that.
LaVar, the ball kids down in LA, he kind of keeps making headlines, and he's brought up his name a couple times with this. Does some of the stuff he's saying bother you at all?
I don't want to talk about that. I wish his kids the best, and I know they're going to be great NBA players. That's their job. That's it.
Do you feel like he may be putting undue pressure on 19-year-olds, 15-year-olds?
Every person should parent their kid how they feel they should. That's it.
We're coming back. Did you learn stuff in the playoffs last year that you think you could help him with? And you got a similar injury, and that idea that you come back and you're not necessarily yourself right away. I mean, did you learn stuff last year that you think could help him down the line?
Yes and no. very similar injury. I was kind of in I guess, a more urgent situation with us being in the middle of the first round and not really knowing how long it would take me to get healthy. One, and then get the rhythm back too. Obviously for him, it's not an ideal situation at all. But to be able to hopefully, best case scenario, have a week maybe or however long before the playoffs start, maybe get a couple games under his belt, to get his timing and rhythm back would be nice. But I know he's looking forward to just taking his time, not rushing the process of healing. That's the biggest thing I want for him is we'll be okay as long as he can get to 100%, and hopefully there's enough time, the rest of the schedule before the playoffs to actually have that happen.
Performed like they did in the last game. What does that do for you, and what are you able to see from the bench watching them play? What are your thoughts when you watch that happen?
Whether it's the regular season or playoffs, like everybody is a part of winning. Every person on the team has a role in that. So on certain nights it may show more loudly than other nights, but you don't win 73 games. You don't win, or you don't have the record we have now without 15 guys. Just making sure everybody's locked in on a night-to-night basis, not really knowing whose button's gonna be pushed, who's gonna come out and have a huge impact. You just gotta be ready for those moments. So, like Ian comes in and checks in, first touch he gets is a corner three and knocks it down. Back comes in, he's aggressive, makes plays, that takes advantage of some big momentum swings and opens the game up for us. D.West comes in and makes plays. Like, we have all these guys that know they're going to get some time on the floor, and they just got to be ready because it takes the whole squad to do what we're doing.
Is there KD out? More of a lift to see that though?
Oh, for sure, because there's more of an onus on those guys playing well because of how the minutes fall in rotations and even just the flow of the game. You got to have aggressiveness all across the board. He gave us a huge energy boost on the trip when you have those moments, those 6 to 8 minute stretches or 4 to 6 to 8 minute stretches where they come in and just make plays and kind of stun the crowd when they think they have control of the game, and our second group comes in and doesn't work.
Game right now with the bone bruise?
I do not know, but I would assume so. It's pretty significant injury, but I know he's got a good protocol to get himself back on the floor.
Thanks, Steph.
Thanks.